I'm Dr. Pat Arnold, Mainland Wellness and Rehabilitation Center in Linwood, New Jersey, and I'm here today to introduce you to some instrumentation we have in our office called the Pro Adjuster. Pro Adjuster is a device which is hooked to a computer, which allows us to analyze motion segments of the spine, and then based on analysis be able to do a treatment to the spine without doing the traditional popping and cracking that's associated with traditional chiropractic care. I would say we use about Pro Adjuster, about 90% of our cases utilize Pro Adjuster chiropractic treatment. So what I'm going to do is show you the Pro Adjuster and kind of walk you through what a new patient would experience when they come in our office. This is the treatment screen or the analysis screen for the Pro Adjuster. This instrument head right here is hooked through a wire to the computer. Inside of this head, this is spring-loaded, which is important. I'm going to tell you why that is in a minute. But inside this head is a crystal. It's called a piezoelectric sensor. And what that crystal does is it measures resistance. So as I'm treating the spine, or actually analyzing the spine, what I'm doing is I'm pushing into the head of the instrument, if you can see that. And you can see that it's moving a little bit. The instrument is calibrated so that when it gets to 6 pounds of pressure or force, it's going to ping an impulse, in this case off of my hand. That impulse is energy, mechanical energy. It goes out, it hits my hand, or the resistance of my hand, or whatever I'm scanning. That force then bounces back into the instrument, and the crystal then measures how much resistance there was, or how stuck that tissue is. So in my hand, you look at the screen here, you can see these bars right here. They're called fixation bars. And they, in the spine, they should register on about that first line right there, which may be kind of hard to see, but it's the 20 mark on the computer right there. That's measuring how stiff, in this case, my hand was. If I scan something like the tabletop right here, which is going to be a little less firm than my hand, I'm going to get a different reading on the screen. You see the reading is lower. If I scan the box of the computer, which is nothing but resistance, you can see the reading I get is going to be 100%. On this side of the screen, these are frequencies. That means even within the fixation or the stiffness of my hand, there's still a frequency or a vibration that occurs when we tap it or we ping it. That's what this is. Each of these boxes down here is represented by one of these bars, and each of these boxes is also one of these frequency lines over here. So this will be a scan of someone's cervical spine or their neck. Now what I do after I get the information off of this screen right here, I'm going to determine whether or not this person needs to be adjusted. So let's say this is a person that's coming to see us for a neck problem, and let's say their problem in their neck is in the lower part of the neck region. Let's say C5. There's 7 bones in the neck. Let's say we're in the lower part of the neck, C5. This screen shows you what happens when that area of your back is misaligned. It's going to actually, the nerves are coming out of that area, the nerves that go down into your arms and hands, and also it's the main nerve supply to your thyroid gland. So if you have a dysfunction in that joint, it's going to either A, give you pain or symptoms, which brings most people into our practice, or it could actually affect the function of the organ, in that case the thyroid gland, where over time the thyroid might not work the way that it should. So that's how chiropractic really affects your overall health and not just your aches and pains that bring you in our office. So if I was going to do a treatment on this scan right here, what I would do is highlight what areas on the screen I feel like I need to adjust. So let's say this person gets headaches. I'm going to probably look at the upper cervical spine, C2, C1 region. And let's say they have numbness and tingling in the outside part of their hand. I'm going to probably be looking at C7. So I'm going to highlight those 2 boxes. I'm going to hit the adjust box, which takes me into the treatment screen. C2, C7, they're the 2 areas I chose to adjust. You can see when I highlight C2, it comes in at about 10 on that frequency bar right there. 10 is hertz, or cycles a second. If I highlight C7, you can see that bar moves. It goes up to almost 11 hertz. The computer software actually calculates that. That's not something that I have the ability to do. So that's how fast does the instrument need to tap in order to make the most efficient adjustment or change. I'm going to choose this second line here. I'm going to change that. That says adjust power on it. That's going to be anywhere from 10 pounds per square inch up to 35. If this was a child or an elderly person, we might use 10 pounds, which sounds something like this. If it was someone more typically, we would use 25 to 30 pounds, so that would sound something like this. So if you watch my finger as I do this, you can see the oscillation of the machine, of the instrument, actually moving my finger back and forth. That's how the instrument actually makes the adjustment. It's that rapid oscillation into the joint that allows the joint to start moving without the body actually resisting the force. So once the adjustment's completed, I'll come forward one more time. I want to show you one more thing. This box right here where it says intolerance, as the computer's tapping, it's getting a measurement back. Once that box hits 10 readings in the same range, it stops. That means the treatment is complete for that visit. Then what we'll do is we'll go back and do a rescan, which will show up on this screen right over here. And we'll compare that to the initial scan to see, did we get a change? So, in a nutshell summary, that's how the Pro Adjuster works. That's what makes our office unique. Pro Adjuster, I introduced into my practice into the Atlantic County area in 2005. I've been using it as my primary adjusting technique since then. Actually, I was so intrigued with the Pro Adjuster when I first started utilizing it, I went and got advanced training, became a clinical instructor for them. I've trained doctors from all over the country in the use and implementation of the Pro Adjuster in their practice. This is a great tool. It's one of many tools we use in the office to get our patients the best result in the quickest period of time. Thanks.